So the reason that we're working in rural areas rather than in the city is because it's much easier for children in the city to get access to computers. And it's much more common that children in the city will have access to computers and the internet in a way that they practice often. So we call people who have used computers their whole life or who have been on the internet their whole life, we call those people digital natives. So what we're trying to do is create digital natives in rural Africa. And the reason that that makes sense now, or that did not make sense in the past decades, is that the cost of the internet is becoming cheaper. And companies are now more remote than ever before. So as all of those things come together, it becomes possible for someone to not only earn a decent living in rural Africa, but make 10 to 100 times the amount of income that you could otherwise make working remotely. For example, if you're working a construction job in Mogotio, maybe you make 400 Kenyan shillings per day. But if you work just the most entry-level data entry job remotely from Mogotio, you could make $8 an hour. So comparing those two options, both being relatively entry-level, one is $4 per day, and then another is $8 per hour. So the goal is that if we can create digital natives in rural Africa, then that essentially will disrupt the cycle of poverty that everyone is living through. So it seems surprising to people that we're able to do all of these heavy technical skills in rural Africa. And I think that is especially surprising for people in my generation or older, because we didn't grow up on the internet. My generation in the States was the first generation to have like instant messaging over the internet. So I was in the first group of peers to actually be online. Before that, it seems ridiculous that you would be able to even do that. You don't have an intuitive grasp of being a digital native. It's just like something that we fell into. So for kids now, I mean, you see this with kids in your own family probably. If you have a touch screen in the room, they know how to use it. Before they even know how to read, they know how to unlock the phone and type in the passcode. Because these devices and these interfaces are built to be easy to use. So I think seeing this as hard technical skills or soft technical skills is not the important part. The important part is that these kids are getting the practice with the devices so that they become digital natives. And honestly, there is not that much more to it. The problem is these kids need to compete with kids from other parts of the planet that have access to computers and the internet literally every day, 24/7. So we design our classes so that our students get at least 2 sessions per week of 30 minutes each. And so we don't understand skill retention and how to, and repetition of content very well yet. Some of the white papers, some of the current academic literature indicates certain trends, but it doesn't seem like we don't have any hard and fast rules. But we believe that 2 lessons per week, spaced out at least a day apart, is the most effective way that we can reach the most people to create digital natives.